Okay, so we are live. Very good evening to everyone. So here we are live, and today, yes, you know that what exactly we are going to focus upon. So today we'll be focusing upon the roadmap for the implementation for the IATF 16949 If you look at like this roadmap will be equally applicable like if you want to implement any other QMS, but we'll especially focus on the uh, IATF 16949 which is basically automotive standard. So thank you very much for coming. So let's get started. If you talk about, let's say that you are given this responsibility or you are working in a new organization, or in your organization, let's say you are given this responsibility. आपके existing organization में आपको जिम्मेदारी मिली है, और in your new organization which you are joining, and your boss, senior interviewer is asking that can you implement, or will you be able to implement the this QMS standard in their organization, and if the first step like which you will do, of course the पहला चीज क्या होगी, पहला step क्या होगा, the first step will of course be uh, making roadmap, right? So that's the first thing. पहली चीज क्या होगी, like they will say that okay, can you make roadmap, is and that's the first step which you will take. Okay, so that's what we are going to talk about, and that's what we are going to discuss. Okay, let's get started. So I think we are good to go. Yes. Okay, so yeah, good evening. We have Yoginder Singh, Rahul, Mayank, Saurabh, yes, Sanjay Singh. So good evening, everyone. So those who are like watching this in the after the recorded version, or those who are watching the recorded version after this live stream, so uh, like we will also share. I'll also share the example of roadmap in the description, right? And we do conduct like live session on every week, and we will also share the link of that is basically conducted in a Zoom channel, right? And you will get that link as well. If you want to attend my weekly session, you can also do that. Okay, so thank you very much for coming. Let's get started. So roadmap for the implementation for the IATF 16949. So if you look at like you must be aware that IATF 16949 is a global automotive quality management system standard. So it is focusing on the automotive industry because there are so many industries, and this particular IATF 16949, they are like very much focused on the development and the growth of automotive industry, and for that reason they have this standard dedicated to the automotive supply chain. So when you say that automotive industry, it does not mean only automotive, it also includes the automotive supply chain. What do you mean by that? So when you say automotive supply chain, that means let's say there is a OEM, original equipment manufacturer, let's say Bajaj, Tata Motor, Ashok Leyland, Mahindra. These all are OEM, original equipment manufacturer, right, which basically make the product and sell in the market. To OEM, original equipment manufacturer, the suppliers for the OEM is called tier 1, and then the further suppliers of tier 1 is called tier 2. Let's say somebody is supplying Bajaj Auto engine assembly, and let's say there's a foundry and machine, the parts are supplied by that foundry company, and then there are some other parts, raw material, which is supplied by tier 3 and tier 4. So the whole supply chain, okay, think about this, the whole company, all companies in the supply chain, even you can go up to raw material, they can take IATF 16949. तो वो सारी कंपनियां सप्लाई चेन में हैं, वो IATF 16949 ले सकती हैं. Of course, like the condition is that your product should go into OE, original equipment manufacturer, and should go to market, right? That's the requirement. Even if you are making, let's say, stickers, like there are companies who are making stickers, and you are making the cover, right? And if it's a bill of material part, bomb, we say bill of material, agar bill of material part hai, it is finally going to the customer, to the end user, then yes, your organization can take IATF 16949. But let's say if you're making lubricant, which gets consumed in the machines which actually make the parts, no, then IATF is not applicable. So अगर आप कोई ऐसा एक lubricant बना रहे हैं जो कि मशीन में लगता है, उस मशीन से कंपोनेंट बन रहे हैं, तो वो हम बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. लाइक बट अगर आप एक ग्रीस बना रहे हो, यू आर मेकिंग अ ग्रीस, एंड दैट ग्रीस गेट्स इन द डोर of the automotive OEM, finally go to automotive OEM, then yes, that means you can take IATF 16949. Okay, so IATF is basically automotive supply chain standard. It is applicable for automotive supply chain, And who all are the members? So there are like different members like BMW, Iveco, Galley Group has been recently included, Daimler, FCA, Ford Motor, General, Jaguar, PSA, Renault, Volkswagen, all these are like you can go to iatfglobaloversight.org to check who all are the latest member. And then there are association like a vehicle manufacturer like these five from US, Italy, France, UK, Germany. They are basically supporting in the making of IATF. So for more information, like I'll also give the link in the description. You can go to iatfglobaloversight.org, this website, and there you will be able to like find more information about IATF. Okay, so why IATF is required? Needless to say that the companies who have implemented IATF in a true sense in a better way, they are able to get better transparency and better systems which ultimately reduce your cost, help in the decision making, help in the reduction of waste in supply chain, focus on the customer enhancement, customer focus. Or customers are happy. Why? Because there are systems, there are structure in place, continual improvement, people are engaged, and better process and less confusion. Think about that. If systems are defined, structure is defined, even improvement is happening, variation is less, what company needs, right? If company has good business or company has customers, customer will be happy. And I've seen in my last 2 decades of experience in the automotive manufacturing sector, in the consulting space, that those organizations who focus on systems, those kind of organizations make far better progress than those organizations which do not focus on systems. So it's not just about documentation, it's about the like implementing documentation in a best possible way where it helps you. So you are not made for documentation, documentation is made for you, right? So most of the companies like it is taken otherwise. Okay, so when it comes to like the roadmap, what steps need to be followed? So there are many steps, so you can divide in many steps. So I have given this 10 steps. It may be 12, it may be 15, it may be 20, it may be 5, it depends, but these are some of the general steps. So I'll go like a bit quickly, and what I will do, we'll also give you access of this slides in the PDF, right? You can also download this. We'll, somewhere in the description we'll give you the link so that you can also download this slide. Okay, so if you look at like first thing, of course you need to prepare your organization, and then step 2 is gap assessment, step 3 create a project plan, step 4 train your organization, train your people, step 5 documentation, which is very important, step 6 implementation, because documentation, making documentation, implementation of documentation is a separate thing. Then step 7 internal assessment, management review. Step 8 choose a certification body. Sometime we can choose certification body prior, because sometimes you simply select those certification body which is recommended by customer, which is recommended by some maybe your friends, or maybe sometime you already have those relationship with those certification body from your corporate, or your mother plant or some other plant is certified to that. So sometimes this may be a prior decision. And then certification body assessment and maintenance of certification. So these are like different steps. Of course, like not all these steps I'm not going to go in depth. I got opportunity to implement IATF 16949 to implement, right? Implement IATF in 33 plus companies. 33 super company मुझे implement करने का मौका मिला. If you look at TS 16949, which was a prior standard, and if you see other like include all other standards, so I got opportunity to implement multiple standard, various standards in 106 plus different organization. If I talk about other standards also, so it's like it's a huge work, it's a big work, it's a big commitment, right? So either you want to implement, you want to learn this implementation, believe me that if you have this knowledge, if you have this competence, you will be given like you will be given a special recognition, like you will have this special recognition, because those companies, those organizations which has not, those individuals which has knowledge of this, these are the people like who get more respect at the workplace. Okay, right. So I hope my pic is visible. So yeah, so those organizations which get those individual gets more recognition. So I'm not going to go in depth in all the steps because it's a huge program. So this YouTube live we are doing so that I can focus more on the step number like 5 majorly, like how exactly you should go about documentation, what is the first thing you should do, right? Other steps, like I will definitely go a bit quickly, right? Okay, so first thing is like you need to prepare your organization. So uh, when I say about prepare your organization, so you need to, your people need to understand, your organization need to understand what is this IATF, like what's the advantage of this, right? And then you need to understand that what are the different processes which is there in your organization. क्या different processes हैं आपकी organization में? What all are the remote location? What are the main location? So main location is where the organization is working, right? Where the manufacturing is happening, validation is happening. Then you have remote location. Remote location, support location are those location which are supporting to main site, right? And they are, let's say there might be a remote location uh, whom you are giving support. You might be, let's say you are in Pune and you have some, you are assisting some location in the Manesar for design. Then that for you are then helping that organization, right? Another way, like you might be taking support from some other location. Let's say you have your human resource office in Chennai, your marketing office in Chennai. Okay, so in that case, you are taking support from that. So if there are any remote location, if there are any support location, these are like sites which is helping to you. In IATF 16949, it is mandatory that those location also need to be audited. Those location also need to be a part of your auditing. Yes. So IATF में mandatory है. Like you cannot go it alone, right? Along with your remote location, along with your support location, you have to go for audit. Let's say you are making a product, you are supplying to TVS in the Chennai, Hosur, and you have warehouse in Hosur. आपका warehouse है Hosur में. Can you go for IATF certification without considering Hosur warehouse? No, you can't, right? In IATF it is not possible. In other standards, yes, it is possible. Even your marketing office, sales office, warehouse, they can alone go for certification. You can go for certification without them bringing into picture. बिना उसके जा सकते हैं, but IATF में possible नहीं है. Why? Because IATF want inclusiveness. IATF want that, because the defect may arise in the at the warehouse as well, right? In your remote and support location process, the issues may arise which can cause defects, which can cause customer dissatisfaction. For that reason, IATF is more mature. IATF is more want that all locations need to be included, and it need to be like told prior to the certification body. So you need to identify what are the main location, what are remote location, what are the supporting site, how they are related to you, how you are helping them. So that kind of relationship need to be established, and that's what we say map your business, and that's what we say like understanding the process interaction, how it is happening within your organization and also with your remote location or your support location. That is step one. Then the next step is, of course, what you will do is perform the gap assessment. Now, why do you need to perform the gap assessment? It might be that you already have 9001 or some other standard, or you might have old standard. So if you do the gap assessment, what happened? You can use any checklist, and that is preferred for doing gap assessment, so that you know in which clause what kind of gap is there. So that will give you an overview. That will give you the like good visibility, what is lacking, how many procedures you need to make. So that will be very helpful for you, how much documentation is required. Okay, so this gap assessment will help you to provide you much needed focus, to help you understand how much task and how many tasks and how many procedures. It will give an overview, right? Although when you go in more depth departmental wise, when you look at their format, then you get to know that what formats need to be made, what are the gaps, then you will get more clarity. But this is an initial assessment which is recommended. This is what I have done for many of my clients. So consider following steps, like when you make a project plan, it includes the understanding that whether your company is going to hire a consultant or you are going to do it yourself. See, hiring consultant, like if you are doing for the first time, if you have less competence, of course it is recommended that you hire a consultant. But if you already have done that in the past, if your people become more competent, if there are some senior people who are, so like let's say some corporate guy who is supporting you, and then in that case you may do it yourself also. Of course it's not that easy, but if you have knowledge, if you have competence, if you have done in the past, you can do it yourself as well. Otherwise you can hire some consultant and then get a very good understanding of the IATF standard, train your people, sit with them, identify that who all are the stakeholders, and then kick off a meeting. It's very important that you say, okay, now we are going to start, and that's and how much time it takes. It depends on organization to organization. Sometimes a small organization may take 6 months, a bigger organization may take 1 year, right? However, in IATF 16949, there is a mandatory requirement that you need 1 year of data. You need 1 year of data before you call certification body. So 1 साल का data जो है वो compulsory है, okay? So 1 साल का data, like if I talk about compulsory for what? Compulsory for production quality, okay? That's what when I say 1 year data. So of course you need to make sure that people are trained, okay? So why do you need to give training? So that people understand the importance of IATF, in that you can plan awareness training for masses, and for select few you need to plan the inter-order training as well. Like you can do it prior in the beginning also, or you can do, I recommend, after some time, after a month or two. Let's say you have made a 6 month plan, maybe on the second month, third month, you can also do this inter-auditor training. That's a mandatory requirement that people need to be trained. And of course, like at the same time, you also need to identify there are other tools, like core tools like APQP, APPAP, SPC, MSA, FMEA. Like these core tools training also need to be planned. So train your organization, and then document your QMS. So what is required in QMS? So there are different levels. Like you, of course, understanding the clause 4.1, 4.2 is very important, which talks about the context, but at the same time, there's a pyramid. Like you define what is manual, like which is the apex manual, top manual, apex manual, quality manual. Then you identify the procedure. So now it is called documented process. Then you identify what are the formats. Then what work instructions will be required, what forms and format will be required. So it's a kind of pyramid, but these are the like 5 or 6 different key documentation. That is something will be required, right? And then yes, implement that. Go department by department. Take one department at a time. Like how I used to do. Let's say you start with maintenance, then human resource, then production, then quality, then new product development, then HR, then production planning. You cover all the departments one by one. Sit with them, identify what all like formats they have, existing format. So try to modify the existing format as far as possible. If some existing format need to be discarded, you can discard that. नहीं चाहिए तो हटा सकते हो. You can definitely, there is an addition. You will add new formats. You will modify existing formats. Some format will be okay. Like it's not necessary that 100% format will undergo change. ऐसा हो सकता है कि let's say you are now implementing IATF in or identifying the requirements in the maintenance department. So let's say you already have the breakdown report, which is okay, but let's say you don't have the predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance in a structured way. You can implement that. You don't have periodic overhaul. You don't have the have not calculated any system for calculating MTTR, mean time to repair, mean time between failure. So that is something that those formats you can include. So what is recommended, from where you should start? कहाँ से start करना है? Should you start, if you like in the documentation, if you see hierarchy says that okay, start first from the manual, then make procedure, then make formats. No, that's not the actual way the people do, or the consultant or senior people do, or the trainer like us or the consultant like us do, because it's going to take a lot of time. See, generally we are short of time, company sometime in a hurry. So first best thing is that where you work, with what thing you work, right? What is that which takes a lot of time? The formats, filling of formats take a lot of time. For that reason, it is recommended to start with the formats. Yes, start with the format, finalize the format first. And of course, you give the knowledge to the auditee or the department people that this is how this need to be filled. Because if you finalize that, then people start filling that, right? SOPs and procedures definitely should be made. Of course, they need to be made, but they should be made at the later stage. So the ideal is you first finalize the formats, let people start working on that, because that is something which is going to take a lot of time. And then second step is then you finalize the procedures, sit with them, modify. Of course, maybe little bit format might be modified, but there are very less chances if you have like very good knowledge, if you are competent. And then last is manual. Manual is something like which generally I think nobody see, only management representative people or the quality system people or the auditors only see that, right? Because manual is quality manual, apex manual is something which is now less focused, although it is mandatory in IATF, not mandatory in 9001. So that's the sequence which is recommended, so that you are not falling short of time, and you take your 3-4 months time, 5 months time, review how much is implemented, how much is pending, give a score to your people. Okay, these many formats pending, these many formats implemented. That's why you have this regular weekly or fortnightly meeting with your people, because it's hard, it's not easy, like there is a too much counseling and too much of to and fro things might be required. So that's step number 6. And then step number 7, then do the internal audit. You already taken training, carry out the internal audit, find out the findings, identify the finding, close the non-conformities, and then next step is do the management review, right? Internal assessment, there are two parts. One is you can use checklist also for internal audit, or you may not use checklist, but make sure that you have audit observation. Audit observation jaruri hai. There you do this in two parts. One is internal audit planning. Okay, internal audits, you release the schedule, you do carry out the audit, identify the non-conformities, close the non-conformities, and then do the management review. Management review ideally should be conducted after internal audit. Management review internal audit के बाद में करना चाहिए. And what frequency you should set for internal audit as such, like it's, you need to define that. Some people do that and do this on quarterly basis, some people do on half-yearly, some people do on annually basis. You can, it's up to you. IATF does not mandate that. They say that they give you 3-year cycle, right? So in general, what I see, most of the people, most of the companies, they do audit in 6 months. But it's up to you. If you want to change frequency, of course you can, based on the risk, you can change the frequency as well. Then of course get the proposal from the certification body. Choose the best certification body, maybe based upon cost, based upon brand, based upon your past relationship, experience. You can get, there are so many certification bodies, like and even as a consultant, I got opportunity to work with all of them, right? I helped those my clients to get certified from almost any of the certification body you name. TV SUD, TV Not, TV Relent, Bureau Veritas, URS, DQS, UL, Quality Astria, IRCA. There are like so many certification bodies. Of course, like I won't be able to say that which one is bad, which one is good. Okay, but of course, there are like you may see in the northern some India, some certification body are doing well. In southern part of India, some certification body is doing well. Like there are so many, like Intertech, like just there are so many certification bodies. So you choose which certification body based upon the competence, based upon your branding, based upon your past experience, right? There are two part of that. One is certification body, other is like consulting, right? Of course, like consulting will be a different totally different thing, and you may, as I said, choose to hire a consultant, not to hire a consultant. As I said, if you are new to a system, you can hire a consultant. If you already have experience, so you can also do that by yourself. Steps to follow: number 1, then you have stage 1 audit and stage 2 audit. So if stage 1 is basically preliminary audit, they look at your systems, they look at your SOPs, have a shop floor round. They will not go in depth. Generally it is for half day or 1 day, generally 1 day, 2 days, depend upon the number of people in your organization. And then stage 2 certification audit, that's the main audit. And then after that, whatever is the non-conformities, based on the successful closure of that, you will be issued a certificate. And then after 1 year, there will be a surveillance audit called first surveillance audit, another gap of 1 year, another surveillance audit called second surveillance audit. So that's how you complete 3-year cycle, and then the next cycle is called the reset or recertification audit. So it's a 3-year cycle, but every year you need to get audited. Okay, and then maintenance, of course, this is very, very important. So make sure that all the records are maintained, sustained, continuous audit, continuous monitoring. It's not a one-time thing. Of course, there may be some improvements which might be required based upon customer feedback, based upon your experience, based upon the external audits. And then, okay, then yes, so that's how like you need to plan, and these are the major steps. So now what I'll do, I would also like to quickly show you the one format. So I hope that might be beneficial for you. So let me show you that very quickly. Okay, so if you look at like just give me a second. Okay, So this is the example, like you can see that this is a roadmap for the certification come implementation. Here, I have written these steps, step 1, step 2. On the top we have written responsibility, when do you expect it to start or end, and duration you can write, and what's the status. Okay, so like this you can fill this up, like when is the start date or when is the end date. Basically these are like planned start date and planned end date. So ye kya hai, planned start date, and then you can review this on weekly basis. Like this you can make a plan, and like this is a like 9-step or 10-step plan. Like you can modify this. It's not mandatory, as I said, to follow completely 100% this format. You can definitely modify this. Some people make in Gantt chart. Okay, what I will do, I will also in the description share that link where the same format, or I will attach one more format, like where you will get this in Gantt chart, right? Okay, so here if you look at one thing which is very important is to also identify the gap analysis, which is equally important. Like make sure that make sure that you define the responsibility, because unless and until you define the responsibility, it's very difficult. So from each department you can check, you can make the primary or secondary person responsible. So this way, like you can identify, and these people you can say that these are quality system coordinator, right? Because it's very important, right? These people, you may not, let's say you are working with the purchase department or a human resource, you cannot talk with everyone, right? It's not possible. You can focus on few, and these leaders, like you focus on them and you make them like intern also, like so that they help. Of course there's a lot of in practically a lot of challenges are there, because these sometimes people don't give that much time. So management need to support, and you also need to make these people understand that if you learn this, आपको समझाना पड़ेगा यार, it will be beneficial for you, beneficial for your career, right? So that's how it's always good to make the primary or secondary person responsible. There should be some system coordinator. That is what I recommend you appoint, so that work become easier for you and you coordinate through them, like whatever is the discussion, that will be much better, right? And then of course there's a gap analysis sheet, which I always used to fill in the initial stage. But of course so there's a gap analysis sheet where, like each clause wise requirement, like what is the scoring. So scoring is like not started or started, or 1 2 3 4, like you can give the scoring one. Okay, coming to this, I'll enlarge this. Work is not started, then 1. If started 2, more than half done 3, completed 4. Like that you can also give some scoring, and you can come up with this criteria, and you can come up with this number, that how much work has been done, and you can write your comment, and you can write that who is responsible, what need to be done. So this is again not mandatory to do, like, but this will give you a very good clarity of what is the score and how much work need to be done. Okay, so I hope you got clarity. So yes, so what I'll do, I'll give you the link so that you can download these format, download these slides. In the description I'll give you a link so that you can download this roadmap. And yeah, so now if you have any further question, I will also share the uh, our email ID, right, so that you can reach out to us, and we will be happy to help. Okay, so I think we are done. Okay, so thank you very much. So now I will look at some questions, and let me see if you have any questions. So what you can do, you can type questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer that. Okay, Nishant is asking what happens if design company is outside India. If it's outside India, Nishant, very good question. There are two things which can be done. First thing is like number one, yes, you can get them audited. Like whosoever is, let's say in the your design support location is in Japan, okay, and then your certification body is Intertech. Then the Intertech, which is in Japan, can audit that company, and can share the report with you, or they can share report with each other. That's the number one way. The second way is that whosoever has audited the Japan, whichever the certification body has audited the Japan, they should show you as a remote location. यानी उनकी report में आने चाहिए. And this is what I have seen, what people have done, what people generally do. Let's say Japan is getting audited by any certification body. In their certification body report, they should mention you as a like they are supporting you, or that is very important. And then, as you get audited, in your report you mention that they are your remote location, like that. So then it will be okay. Otherwise, if this is not done, this can be a major non-conformity, or this can be a part of non-conformity, right? So that's how it can be done. So that's a shortcut. That's the best way people do. Okay. Yes. Any other question? Please show us how to write procedure for any department. Jay Kumar, I have, like today, I'll not take this agenda. Maybe in some other session, like we can take this, like because that's a separate. How to write procedure, basically, like first you should be aware about standard requirement. What is the standard requirements? Number one, right? What is the requirements of your organization? What is the requirement of your customer? Specific requirements. So all that you need to combine, and then you may need to make a procedure. So maybe on some other day I can tell you more in detail. But in general, like before writing a procedure, you should be aware about what is standard requirement. Number one. Number two, what is the customer requirement, right? And number three, what is your own organization requirement? So these three things are required. Then you will be able to make the better procedure. Yes. Please describe in short the first stage of audit. Krishna, for sir, you can please describe in short. Krishna is asking first stage audit. Okay. See, Krishna, I'll tell you in brief, right? The stage one is called preliminary audit. So in the preliminary audit, there are like 4 or 5 agenda. And number one, they will look at your SOP procedure. क्या आपके procedure बने नहीं बने? As per IATF requirement, right? Because there are 21 mandatory places where documented process is written, DP is written. Of course, you can make 100 or you can make 50 or 100, numbers can be any. But there are 21 places where documented process is written. 21 जगह पे documented process word लिखा है. There may be others which might be expected by the auditors. So if you see, they will look at that if those mandatory procedures are covered or not, if you have made the quality manual or not. So they will look at your documentation. That is their primary focus, right? In the stage one. And the stage one, they will also talk to you, also have a shop floor round, but they will not go in depth. But in the stage one, they will look at internal audit. They will look at management review meeting. So one cycle of internal audit and MRM is also expected. So if you look at in stage one, like there are non-conformities in stage one. Either you are recommended for stage two or not recommended. या तो आप recommend होते हो या नहीं होते हो. So stage one in generally it is called area of concern. तो area of concern होते हैं. Of course you need to complete that before your stage two audit. So stage one is generally like documentation audit, and that they do not go in depth. It's a surface level review. Okay, and basically they are looking at your preparedness कि आप तैयार हो या तैयार नहीं हो. So that's what they look at, whether you are prepared for stage two or not. That's what is the focus of stage one audit. Then stage two, of course, like the in-depth audit, cross verification or trail based audit, linkages, वो सब definitely in the stage two, which is the final audit, it is there. Okay, we have is mandatory to complete APQP for family part or all the parts. See, APQP, advanced product quality planning, like in family has 4 part, but drying release 1 part. Okay, so it depends. Emoji Studio, you have written this. Okay, I don't know what's your real name, but if you see APQP, it depends. Advanced product quality planning, like it depends on customer how they want. In general, most of the time, like APQP, PPAP, generally people don't do family wise because sometimes customers are different and they expect it to be done in a separate way, like do it separately. But sometimes it may happen that customer is same and they are making 4 parts and they have little bit changes. Then they may say, okay, make one APQP but make sample inspection report separately. So they may say like that. So most of the cases, like generally I haven't seen family wise APQP or PPAP unless it is only one customer and single customer. Otherwise, like if it's an individual customer, definitely they will demand it separately. But if it's a single customer with 4 parts and almost similar parts, little bit different, they may agree to a family wise kind of okay, I hope you understand. You can share gap and check. Yes, Ravi Kiran, what I'll do, I'll share the like one link after some time. Okay, and then in the description you can check at the later stage. We'll make this a downloadable resource for you. Okay, if you change certification body, we have to face preliminary audit. Shami, good question, good question. Yes, in general, like if you look at if you are completing, let's say 3 year, what I have seen that, let's say you are changing a certification body, right? And most of the time what I have seen that it vary from organization to organization. And let's say in between there was a case in 2018, May 2018, the WinCode certification body got banned. So it's on the internet, like in the IATF website, WinCode certification ban hogi. And then the IATF has given this opportunity that the companies need to transition to a new certification body. So what I have seen in that case, they have not gone any stage 1 audit again. So in this special cases, no, there is no requirement. Okay, when it comes to, like, let's say you are continuing one certification body, एक certification body आप continue कर रहे हो, okay? So in that case, what I have seen that, let's say you have completed 3 years, like stage 1, stage 2, like start of the year, that is called certification audit. After 1 year gap, recertification, surveillance 1. After 1 year, surveillance 2, and the next is like your reset. So 3 year you have completed. So in that case, the stage 1 audit will not happen. So if it's the same certification body, the stage 1 audit will not happen after 3 years. It will be a continuation audit, that is called recertification audit. But yes, I have seen that, let's say somebody is changing our certification body. What I have seen, yes, I have seen that people go for stage 1 and stage 2 again. For LOC, how many months? LOC, Rahul, stands for letter of conformance. Those companies who can take letter of conformance, LOC कौन ले सकता है? So letter of conformance is eligible. It is eligible to those companies who are not yet fully in the automotive supply chain. जिनका अभी supply chain में start नहीं हुआ है, they are not supplying to automotive OEMs, or either they don't have 1 year data. So there are two conditions. Letter of conformance is as good as the IATF certificate. थोड़ा सा फर्क उसमें ये है, it is not given directly by IATF, it is given by the certification body. Letter of conformance कौन देता है? Letter of conformance given by the certification body under the guideline of IATF. Who can take letter of conformance? Letter of conformance is only those companies are eligible which do not have 1 year data. They can go for LOC. I have some 2 or 3 clients whom I helped with the letter of conformance also. Everything is same, 100% सारी चीज़ same होती है. So those who do not have 1 year data, they are newly established, they can go for LOC. They cannot go for final IATF, they can go for LOC, letter of conformance. And those companies who are in the initial discussion with the OEM or part of automotive supply chain. Let's say your company is making some railway part, but they are not making automotive part, but you have active discussion with the Honda, Maruti, or some other company in the automotive supply chain. You have some email interaction, or you have visited, you are going to start, then by showing that evidence, you can also go for letter of conformance. So letter of conformance is issued for 1 year. After 1 year, if you already have automotive business, फिर तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Letter of conformance will be converted into a full certification. But everything is same. हर चीज़ same होती है उसमें. There is no difference. Okay, Jay Kumar, LOC how many? LOC में as such, that's what I said, Rahul. उसमें LOC में you don't need 1 year data. You may have 3 months, 6 months, 8 months data. इसमें कम data, I don't think there is any requirement. As far as I remember, I know, I don't think ऐसा कोई mandatory requirement नहीं है. But of course, if you have 6-7 months data होगा, then only it is recommended you go for any audit. Okay, Karthik, thanks Karthik. Karthik is asking that one part number contain the remaining 3 part number. How in this condition we prepare APQP document? Please give some clarification. I didn't understand your question, Karthik, fully. If you say one part has 3 part number, okay, if it is 100% same, it's okay. Then you do copy paste, right? If it's a different customer, if it's the same customer, and then they say that okay, it's a let's say one part has 3 part number, or 3 further, you are making one part, but you are supplying, let's say you're making fastener, and it is going to 3 customers with 3 different part number. Why? Because customer says मेरा part number रखो. So in that case, you need to do only one APQP. Just copy paste and change the part number and give it to customer. That's it. Okay, Karthik. Is it okay if you don't have MR department in an organization? So Prince, of course it is okay. अभी तो into 15 you see 2015 में आप देखोगे ना Prince, in 2015 if you see MR clause is silent. Management representative clause is silent, but still, like I was MR, I worked with Minda Group of Industry, and I was a management representative at that time. Even I see many companies still have MR. MR about brand new hai, it is silent. So you can still appoint MR, but letter is not compulsory. Earlier people used to give letter that you are MR, you are appointed as MR, management representative. These are responsibilities. So that is not mandatory. वो mandatory नहीं है. But yes, you can appoint MR. Nowadays, some companies do not say MR; they say quality system engineer, quality system manager. So it's up to you. If you want to appoint MR, you can appoint MR. It's not, the word is not banned. It is silent. And why silent? You know, so that more people can take responsibility. For a process owner can take responsibility. For that reason, this word is silent. Okay. Okay. What is the minimum gap between stage one, stage two? Within, I think, Ravi, it's like within, in general, 60 days. Like within 2 months, you get that audited, and max I think is the 90 days. But to be on safer side, within 60 days, as far as I don't remember, I think like 60 days is the time stage one, stage two audit. You should go with the final audit, and you should. Otherwise, maybe you need to again go for the uh, stage one again, right? Yes, Rati. Okay, those who want to be like attend my program, and we do this in more detail with more interaction, like the way we are doing, and I also share the case studies, a lot of activities with you. I'll share the link. Okay, you can come. I'm just sharing the link in the chat also, and here you can register yourself, and then every week I do this. Not here. This is my second YouTube live, so I'm new to this, so but I'm enjoying this. This is really good. So अभी मैं आपसे share कर रहा हूँ एक link, and you can attend my, you can fill up this, it's a Zoom meeting link, and you can come in that session, right? Yeah, so here it is, like if you want to, yes. Okay, so great. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed this interaction with you. So this is my second YouTube live. Last YouTube live I did a few days back. So I will come more often, right? So thank you very much. All the best, and thank you very much for coming. So yes, thank you, Mayank, Sanjay, Jitendra. Thank you very much. So I can see there are so many numbers. Yes, you please do share with your friends. Yes, Karthik, Krishna, thank you very much. Ravi, Prince, Jai Kumar, Shami Kapoor, thank you. If you join the certification, yeah, Ravi, yes, thank you everyone. Nishant, AJ Cloud, yeah, thank you. Chali, all the best, and thanks a lot. And please do share this as this recording get available in the YouTube live. Very shortly we'll make it available, and also do share with your share this link with your friends, those who are part of automotive supply chain, so that they can get benefited. So all the best. Thank you very much. Okay, good night, take care, bye bye. Yeah, thank you, all the best, take care.